The very first time in my lifetime that I was accused of doing something which I had not done happened when we were in Form 4 in high school. So basically what happened is we were about to sit for our KCSE papers. I think we were 2 weeks out or 3 weeks out thereabout. So the school decided to take all the Form 4s. I think Form 3, 2, 1 were all at home. So it was just us. It was a boarding school. So they put us in a bus and they took us to either Ole Polos or Ole Tepes. I always forget. I confuse the two. But one of them, that's where we went. The whole point was to go there, relax, do various activities, bask in the sun. And by the time you come back to school, you've exhausted all that homesickness and you'll be able to focus on your KCSE. So we got there, we went with around 3 buses. They were serving lunch outside. We were actually queuing on a line. So we went out, we had lunch, there was soda, people were walking around, there's swimming pools, there's vast lands you can go and explore. So that's what people did. Now here's the interesting thing. I was with a friend of mine who I'll give a different identity. I'll call him Kevin in this particular case. So I was with Kevin. And we were walking around, checking out the place. Then it got so hot and we decided to go chill in the bus that brought us because the door was open. So we sat in the bus under that shade. We chilled for a little while. Then when we left, he wanted to go one way. I wanted to go the other. And since we couldn't agree, because the Bible even says 2 people cannot walk if they're not in agreement, we separated. Now, believe it or not, when we got on our buses heading back to school, a wave started. A guy sitting at the front says, "Money is missing in my wallet." The next guy checks, money is missing in their wallet. Now everybody is checking from the front to the back of the bus. Everybody is missing money in their wallet. So that obviously means someone stole. And this was a serious thug because the person went systematically from the front of the bus, bag by bag by bag by bag, all the way to the back. I didn't think much of it. We got to school, for us, the way we were structured, our cubicle had 2 Form 4s, 2 Form 3s, 2 Form 2s, and 2 Form 1s because that's the only way they could deal with bullying. Because back in the day, it used to be Form 4s in one block. And you'll find a Form 4 walking into the Form 1 block, bullying them, coming out of there with shopping. So they segregated us into groups so that every Form 1 has a Form 4 who is looking out for them and so on and so forth. But in this particular case, I was the only Form 4 in my cube. And all my other cube members, since they were junior to me, they were all at home. So I was sleeping alone. It gets to around 11 p.m. Then, boom, my door is kicked open. I'm looking at these guys. Some of them are even drunk because, when we were at Ole Polos, there's beer and people have cash. So they're buying beer, they're drinking, they're under the water so that the teachers don't know about it. So the door is opened. I sit up. I'm looking at them. I'm wondering, what's up? What's happening? Then one person tells me, "Give me my money. Return our money." I'm like, "Boss, which money?" They're saying, "You guys entered the bus. You and your friend Kevin." I said, "Yeah, we entered the bus, but we didn't take any money." But here's the funny catch. When we left that bus, Kevin went and spent time with other people. So he had an alibi. When they asked him, "You left the bus?" "Yes." "Where did you go?" "I was with person XYZ." They called those people. "Was Kevin with you?" "Yes, he was with us." Can you believe it or not? When we parted ways, I went to walk on my own, checking out the terrain, watching others swim, just walking and having a personal time. Just enjoying myself, seeing the terrain and what's happening. So when they ask me, "You left the bus?" "Yes." "Where did you go?" "I went to the swimming pool area." "Who was there with you?" I cannot say I was with this person or this person because I was alone. So lack of alibi made people believe that it was me. They ransacked my cabinet. They ransacked my box. They checked under the mattress because, in high school, people hide contrabands there. Nothing. They checked the whole cubicle. Nothing. So you can imagine people you've studied with for 4 years, as you're about to exit, because of the lack of an alibi, a few of them come and accuse you and say, "You're the one who stole from us." And they were adamant. Big guys who play rugby or even they're saying, "Give us our money." It's just that me, I don't have the attitude of a coward. So I said, "I don't have your cash because I did not take anyone's money. And if you decide to beat me, so be it. If beating me will help you get your money back, do it." And these guys sat there and they thought it through. We have searched his entire cubicle. In fact, I'm alone. There's no one to say I'm colluding with. They searched everything. They found nothing. They tried using threats. It did not work because I did not take the money. That was the first time ever in my lifetime that I was accused of something I did not do. And the odds were so stacked against me that to this point in my life, it is just me and God who know I did not do that particular thing. And even when you go to the prisons today, there are many people who have been accused of things they never did. You are just at the wrong place, at the wrong time, and your alibi makes no sense. There is no one to corroborate it. Just the other day, I was listening to, what's his name? Dr. Kingori. He was interviewing 2 inmates and 2 prison wardens. Of course, the inmates at this point, they've been released. They're having an interview out in public. They're back to public life. And one of them was talking about how there's someone he knows in prison who is there for something he never did. So this guy, apparently, there were some boys in the hood who were thugs. They met a mama mboga and they stole everything she had. And when they ransacked the goods, they found out these are tomatoes, onions. They barely needed those things, so they threw them. Then this guy shows up from the corner. Of course, the thugs have already ran away. He doesn't know what's happening. He says, there's groceries. This is onions, tomatoes. Who threw these things? He took them. The next corner he takes, he meets that mama mboga and a group of angry locals. And the mama mboga says, these are my things. This is part of the boys who stole from me. That is how he ended up in prison. So you can be a victim of circumstance. It's very possible, even in the Bible, Joseph was accused by Potiphar's wife that he raped her when it never happened. So it was only Joseph and God who knew the truth, and God actually came to his rescue and rescued him. And that's why even if you do the math, those people never touched me, because God saw the truth and he knew this was just an attack from the enemy. Now, the second time where I was accused of something that I did not do, and this one actually for me it hit me worse than the other one. What happened is this. From the time I was in class 4, there's a childhood friend I had, and we grew up together. Same age, same neighborhood. Our parents know each other, and we're just in the same hood. So we grew up together. So time goes by, we've grown up, and then the big sister, has opened a kiosk, his big sister. Now, from where I lived, in between me and the stage, there was around 4 shops. I would walk past the first one, walk past the second one. Hers was the third on my way to the stage, and I would opt to go by there and do my M-Pesa transactions there because this is one of our own. This is a sister of a childhood friend. You just go to that business to promote them. But it is almost like this owner of the shop never trusted the lady she had put there. So I noticed most of the times if I find her there, I can withdraw. But other times she's gone, and she's gone with the M-Pesa phone. Maybe it happens. In Kenya, people are mischievous. You can put an agent and they steal money. So the first time I went there, I needed 200 shillings for the matatu. And the lady who's there tells me, you can't withdraw because the owner has gone with the phone. So I told her, why don't we do this? Do you have her number? Yes. So I said, let me M-Pesa her the number, the way you can send directly to 07 yada yada yada. I sent the money, 200, and her employee gave me 200 and I left. The next time I went to that particular shop, I was going to the office of the Registrar of Political Parties. I was going to inquire about how to vie as an independent. I wanted to contest for a particular seat. And in my phone, I had 15,000 shillings. And I needed to withdraw 300 shillings because my first stopover would be IEBC. Then I go to Westlands at the office of the Registrar of Political Parties, back to town, back to home. So I figured 300 will be enough. Now what happens? I get there, again, the owner is not there and she has gone with the phone. But this time, instead of sending her the money, the mistake I made, and I wish the lady who was there, Meachiwa, she could have told me, I withdrew the cash. Now here's the interesting thing. If the phone is not physically there, the transaction will fail. It will always fail. So what I did, I withdrew 300 shillings. I didn't even check for the message because I know I have 15,000. Why would 300 transaction fail? I put the phone in my pocket. I left. I went, did my errands, and on my way back, I was just about to arrive back to the starting point, which is where this shop is. I get a call. I hang up. I don't pick up numbers I don't know. The call is incessant, so I pick. So my friend's sister is yelling at me, calling me a thief. You're stealing from my shop. So I'm like, what is all this about? The matatu is so loud, I decided, let me hang up since I'm close to there anyway. I might as well just go and talk to her one-on-one. I figure out what she's talking about. So turns out because she was not there with her phone, I withdrew 300. The transaction failed because of lack of proximity of the phone, but she did not give me the benefit of a doubt that the M-Pesa transaction had failed. She jumped the gun and immediately called me a thief. I've never stolen anything from her brother, who I've known for years. I've never stolen anything from the family. Even my own, I remember telling my dad this story and he told me, you know what? A thief will be known from home. There's no child who is declared a thief out there. So this was very, very shocking for me because this is someone who has seen me grow. They are older than me by 15 years or so. Yet one mistake, they label you a thief. Now, by all means, she had the right to complain because on my side at best, I was guilty of incompetence. I did not know that when the phone is away, the transaction will fail. Incompetence was my crime. But she branded me a thief and she did not give me the benefit of a doubt. And that's why I always say, do not judge. If you look at the case of someone like Joey and Maribe, there are people who come out to say Joey is guilty. Others come out to say Jackie is guilty. At the end of the day, you cannot be too sure. It is better to say that you do not know and stay out of it. Otherwise, one day you might find yourself in a situation where the odds are stacked against you. You know you didn't do something, but everyone believes you did so because you're at the wrong place at the wrong time. There's no one to corroborate your alibi. It is just you and God who knows the truth. Which is why we always say, do not judge. In fact, if you read Matthew chapter 7, verse 1 to 6, God says, do not judge or you too will be judged. For in the same way you judge others, you too will be judged. So moral of the story, do not judge others lest you yourself can be judged. And also, not everyone who is declared guilty is guilty. We have people rotting in prison for things that they did not do. Now, having said that, if you enjoyed today's episode, you can subscribe on YouTube at High Altitude Ministries, or TikTok or Facebook or IG, whichever is your preference. But currently we are just posting on TikTok and YouTube. We'll expand the borders somewhere down the line. Having said that, bye-bye.